story, and I'm gonna tell you why. I know. The lie you keep telling yourself is ruining your results. You actually don't know this, but your brain doesn't know what's real or not. Same with your nervous system, right? The things that you tell yourself, that I'm fat, that I'm ugly, that I'm stupid, are actual thoughts that you are reinforcing your brain to actually act as that one doofus. Okay? So, how do we actually change that? So, here's how you're going to do this. From step zero, you're going to need to make sure that you see yourself as a higher person. Because the reason why I tell you this is you see yourself as a really like a loser, a video game addict, a vapor, anything like that. These are just identity habits that you're doing that are not aligned to what you currently think of yourself right now. Does not matter what you think in your mind, right? It ultimately needs to be what you show to the world. Because the world will only show what you are in results of how you are going to be as a person. So once you actually get the habits that you become this one person, things will start falling to apart and things will start coming along. And as you could tell, once we actually do this, imagine that you're on a hill and you're trying to be the new version of yourself right down here. That being said, this hill has a waterfall. Okay? A waterfall. But obviously, when you jump in there and then eventually transition into a new person, everything seems pretty easy. Like everything flows with water to become this person. That is how we're going to start changing your thoughts like this. Once you start understanding that, then we can move to step one. Here's how you're going to do it. First self is when you look at yourself in the mirror when you wake up, you typically always say to yourself that you are ugly, that you are fat, that you are just whatever. You just start saying some weird bullshit to yourself, and then eventually what you're going to do is you are positively reinforcing your brain to be thinking that I'm ugly, that I'm fat, that I'm stupid. And ultimately, to get the mindset to completely eliminate this is what we're going to be discussing. But let's say that you still have these things. Little did you know that you are simply killing yourself because you're reinforcing these little habits, that you're little objections that you're putting yourself in your brain. And what's going to happen is that your brain doesn't know what's real or not, so it's going to actually try to positively reinforce that by telling yourself that you are. And do things like eating junk food, saying some other person is attractive and you are not. When a girl says that you're cute, you don't accept it. Or let's say that you failed a test and now you think you're a retard. But not understanding that these are going to be habits that you need to eliminate. So, how are you going to do this? The moment that you wake up, I can't remember, but I know the average human usually gets over 1,000 or like what over like 10,000 over 10,000 thoughts in their mind every single day. The moment since they wake up from bed to the moment that they go back to sleep. That's literally how it works. So what we're going to do is simply make sure that whenever yourself looking yourself in the mirror, even if it's fucking cringe, tell yourself that I'm attractive. I'm confident. I'm strong. Because your brain still doesn't know what's real or not. And so, what's going to do is that you're going to actually reinforce these little traits, and your brain is going to subconsciously trying to work this out to completely make those statements become true. So, you'll start doing little habits like, let me see, um, smile more, or you'll start doing things like, yeah, smile more. You're probably gonna talk to more women. You probably are going to take your gym progress seriously, because these little actions that you're doing, that your brain will subconsciously try to do, will be positively reinforced and making you think that you're going to be doing this. And as you could tell, usually everything that, if I could tell, there's this saying that typically your identity is backed up by who you are because of actions and habits. Okay? Whenever you do those habits and actions, your brain is also confidently, what's it called? Being triggered that you are this person because you are doing the habits and the actions that actually leads to this one person. That's why whenever you feel something that you're doing something that's like, I don't know, not really out of the ordinary of your schedule, you start to tense up and start to be like, oh, I can't really focus. That is because your identity is so tied to these actions that whenever your brain does that thing and you don't really do it, your brain starts to freeze up, tense up, and believes that you're in a fight or flight because clearly that you don't know that you are so locked into these habits that you cannot push yourself to go into these new habits. But back to what I was saying though, if you tell yourself in the mirror every day you wake up after you take a shit, a shower, whatever, and say all these things like, I'm strong, I'm confident, I'm charismatic, anything. Because within those 10,000 thoughts that we do every day, we need to make sure at least 5,000 thoughts are about kindness to yourself. Because ultimately, I'm gonna be real with you, no one in this world can change you. And you're looking at this video because only you can change yourself. So why don't you be the best of the best and become the best? And what's so crazy is that when I said this quote, I had no negative thoughts came right after that because I solely believe I could become the best. Because I've always positively reinforced myself that this is where I am. Right now at my job, I'm number one in the store. I have a motorcycle. I'm jacked. I have a girlfriend. I have a decent amount of money from my job. As you could tell, I'm the shit. I feel like the shit. And regardless, no one's gonna tell me besides the people online. But if anyone who's talking about this online, you need to go walk outside. That's just how it is. Because if you invest your whole life and actually comment down there, then you are some random person that needs to go out and do something with their life. So after that, what's next gonna happen is you're gonna go to step two, which I personally have the thing that makes the voices be quiet, which is meditation. Now, what is meditation? So typically, it's not the thing where you listen to fucking music and what's it called? You put incense or whatever, and then you fucking sit in a robe or whatever, and be like, okay, let me see if I can do this. whatever. No, it's not like that. Meditation is very simple, and all you have to do is simply 5 minutes a day, every day, for the rest of your life. Now, why should I tell you this? It's because there are moments that meditation helps you with other long term things because it talks about focus. Right now in 2026, the average human being has like 46 seconds of, what's it called? Attention span, right? You right now are watching these type of videos that literally are unedited, dopamine charismatic, and that makes you actually be in a little bit more of the superior people. Okay? So, this is what you're gonna do. Every day you wake up every time you wake up from your bed, this is immediately you're just gonna wake up and you're gonna go either sit on your bed or stand on a chair, regardless. Anyways, you're gonna close your eyes, right? And then what you're gonna do is simply focus on your breath. Okay, this is gonna just imagine this is the nose. You slowly focus on this. It can be anywhere, your nose, your forehead, your lips, doesn't matter. Anything what you do is close your eyes and focus on your breath. You're gonna breathe in deep breaths, like deep breaths. Now, what you're gonna also do is you're gonna actually hold your stomach. You're gonna put you're gonna put one of your hands and on your stomach, right? Let me write this down. So close eyes. Here. So you're gonna close your eyes, and then what you're gonna do is put your hand on your stomach, and then what you're gonna do next, I'm trying to figure out, is deep breaths. But try to take a deep breath through your stomach. Your stomach should start bulging. Anyways, when you take a deep breath, right? So, what's going to happen is you right now, oh goodness. So, you right now, you're here. What's going to happen is that you're going to focus on your focus point, which is your nose. And then what's going to happen is when you focus on that thing, your thoughts are going to come out of nowhere in your brain. Like the I'm ugly, the I'm stupid, that what am I going to eat, that girlfriend looked at me good, whatever. What's actually going to happen is when you have that moment, come back to the thought of you focusing. And then after you do that, you're going to go back to going to the thought. Because what's going to happen is when you're going to breathe, your thought are going to be thinking about something else. Your mind's going to automatically going to do that, right? That being said, you're going to go back and be like, oh, focus on the thought. You're going to catch it and go focus on the thought. That's what you're going to do. That's exactly what you're going to be doing. Just focus on your thought. Because you're going to see these random thoughts that are coming out. You're going to see these random thoughts that automatically come out, right? And what you're going to do is that you're going to just be like, oh, wait, no. Focus on my thought. Not only this is one concept of it, this is how you go to focus, but also be able to know that those thoughts that go, you can start to see how many thoughts are in your mind. This also brings me to another concept where there's another sort of meditation where you start doing the same thing, you start focusing, or automatic thoughts come in, and then what you're going to do is when you focus on your breath and you see these automatic thoughts, let them linger. Do not judge them. do not uh, just acknowledge them. And then as you acknowledge them, go back to the thought. Why I tell you this is because those inner voices that you have in your mind will be suppressed to the point where you can't hear that voice is saying, no, you're not good. No, not today. And which ultimately holds you back. But you're a man, and you know damn well that you want to take life by its horns and move it to whatever you want to do. You want to take the world in your own hand, and you want to do whatever with it, and be accomplished in life, and be happy and be successful. So, after you figure that out, step. Let me see. I think it was like step 2, step 3. Step 3. We're gonna get into reading books. More likely, mental health books. The best book that I would recommend, as for you, would be Mountain is You. This book right here. This book. Okay. This book right here talks about self-sabotaging, and I read this book, and ultimately it tells you all the self-sabotaging habits that you're doing, the mental health issues that you're doing, the bullshit things that are going through your life and that you ultimately don't want to be doing. So read this book, and this will help you not only get you in the right mindset to tell you that everything that you are negatively reinforcing is just a thought. Oh my goodness. Another one I really liked that really helped me was this book. It was called all right now. Oh my goodness. I forgot what it's called. It's not this one. It's called there's another book. I wish I knew what it was, but it starts with an E and also spiritual. And there's like it's blue right here, and there's a horse right here. This one's really good to hear because it talks about how the inner voices are actually not you, right? They're not actually you. And just imagine that you were stuck with a terrible fucking just a terrible fucking fat guy, right? Just like a really obese guy who thinks that he's a shit, but ultimately sorry, that ultimately would be talking dog shit to you, right? Would you ever take advice from him? No. So that's the same concept that this tells you, that it tells you all about those voices that are visualize them, that they're actually real people telling you bullshit advice that you think that you're not capable of doing, but you're not. Now you might be thinking reading is fucking terrible. Well, honestly, what if I told you that reading is going to be able to help you in relationships, so that Latina that you want to get, your wealth. Sorry, guys. Your health and your relationships. So that being said, all this right here, you right now are suffering from some bullshit fucking itis because you know that damn well you could become someone greater, but you don't know how to. Sorry, guys, but you refuse to do something because you're self of what arrogance, because you don't want to become this one person and take the time to actually invest in your education and actually become the better version. Fuck. All you care about is dumping 10K on a fucking uni, which majority you're not even going to use all that stuff. And what's going to happen is when you use all that stuff, you're not even going to use it because you're going to be using it for probably drugs, alcohol, women, and ultimately that's not the way to do it. But hey, I'm telling you, I can't change you, but this is what I'm telling you. This really helped me. Sorry about that. So, I'm sorry about sneezing, guys. But so here's what you're gonna do. As you could tell, start changing your identity. You are the person that you need to be with those affirmations, right? Whenever you look in the mirror, start telling yourself these manual thoughts that you are attractive, that you are the shit, that you are the best. After that, you're going to start meditating. Meditation is going to be the best key because it's actually going to suppress those inner voices that you don't need in your lifetime. That also being said, start getting into books because when you start reading and start reading about mental health books, you start to realize that everything else is literally mental. A lot of people, you start to see people that are actually suffering more than you, and you just realize that it's because it's their inner voice that literally controls them. Because a lot of that inner voice that you really see yourself that's dictating makes you not want to talk to that girl, makes you not study, makes you watch fucking porn, play video games, vapes. All those inner voices are telling you to do that while you could be the best version of yourself and start reading books, meditating, journaling. You could also fucking talk to your family. This is the ultimate way that helped me to be able to actually suppress my inner voice. So all I ask is to subscribe, leave a like, and also, what is it called? Comment down if you have any questions. I'll see you guys. My name is Roy, and take care.